Alright, welcome back to Betsy and Buzz. I know this isn't the voice you were expecting, but we're dealing with a lot of things we didn't expect this week.
Once again, my car is dead.
But that won't keep us from staying positive as I continue the renovation on the camp store and we continue to navigate day-to-day RV life together. So join us this week for another episode, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Here we go. Well, we've been pretty lucky so far, but today I think we're finally getting our comeuppance a little bit. Only got a couple inches all the way around the park, but there's more cold weather coming, and that's okay. Right, that wasn't too bad. It's just actually, it's like really light and fluffy, so it's melting right off. It's about 19 degrees. Getting ready to get started for work. I need to run up to the gas station and get some stuff before I get started. But then we're working inside today, and we're thankful for that. So back in the store. Yesterday I was able to get all of the openings in the old reception / new store area done. So I got that door cased out. I got this opening all cased out. And this is a 5/4 cedar board, and then with the cedar siding ripped down to 2.5 inches to make the casing for this. But that turned out really nice. It's got a nice reveal on it. I got that door completely cased out. And that door over there is cased out. The window got cased out yesterday. And I ran all of the upper trim. So I think today I've got this pass-through window here that I framed in a few weeks ago. I went ahead and just laid all the boards straight over it. So now I can just cut all that out. And it's easier to keep your courses in line when you're going over an opening like that. So I gotta get that cut out today. I'm gonna go ahead and case out that door opening, and I'm gonna case out that opening because I need to get the doors cased out, because you have to do the doors and then you can do the base, because your base butts up against your door casing. So I want to focus on getting all the doors cased out today, and then we're gonna have to lay some flooring because I can't do the base until the flooring is done. I like to put my base right on top of the flooring. It just makes it easier if we're doing flooring, so you don't have to set your gap and everything and try to finagle each end piece underneath of it and stuff. So I got to focus on trimming out this room today, and then I think I might even end up getting to do some flooring, but that also means that I'm gonna have to clean all this up. It's kind of one of those weird things where you're doing,
moving a bunch of stuff to a certain side of the room. Do that side, move everything back, do that side, and then you move everything to another room, then you have to focus on another room, so.
Unfortunately, it dropped like 4 inches and it's still snowing at the moment. So I would love to start loading all this stuff up, but I might end up just shuffling it around today. Maybe wait for the snow to dissipate a little bit by the end of the week, and then we can start loading some of this stuff up and taking it out to the shop. So yeah, we're gonna focus on doing trim this morning and see how long that takes us, and possibly get to doing some flooring and doing some cleanup. Let's get going. Well, spent about an hour just kind of cleaning up a little bit, at least getting my work area a little more cleaned up. So I'm going to start today with going ahead and cutting out this pass through, get that cased out, and then we'll move into the other room. look at cased out opening, looks pretty good. It's got 5/4 for the case for the actual jam material, and then just our regular 3/4 siding that's been ripped down. So that's been the big theme across this whole thing. The customer bought enough material so that we could actually just go ahead and hang all the cedar, and then what was left over, we're actually ripping down to our 2.5 for all of our casing and baseboard and trim all the way around this entire facility. So that's what I've been doing. I've been using a lot of the scraps and leftovers to make this kind of stuff so we have as little waste as possible. So yeah, this is actually the same board as these. It's just been ripped down to the dimension that I need for the casing. The only different lumber he's bought is this actual 5/4 cedar, which is realistically around 7/8. But using that for jam material here and jam material on all of the open door jams that doesn't have a door but still needs to be what's called a cased opening. So I've got this side done, and I really like how it's coming out. They're going for more of a craftsman style trim in this place, which basically just means, you know, 2 rails, 2 styles, and then we just got a little 1/2-inch overhang on the top here, and it just adds that extra little detail. You can actually see a little bit right there as well. I think it's a good look for this whole, you know, lodge cabin kind of style vibe that they're going for. So I've got a couple pieces of scrap here. I'm gonna go ahead and rip up the trim for the other side of this opening. We'll get that installed, and I'll probably do lunch. So to make the trim, basically what I'm doing is I'm cutting the groove off of one side, and that establishes a good flat edge. And this is your little offcut here, which there's not much to do with this other than take it back and put it in the burn pile. And which I've actually been doing a lot because this is cedar. It's got a good smell to it. It's very dry. It's very soft and pliable. It's really great kindling if you ever do a project like this or can get your hands on some cedar. It's great kindling. Starts a fire instantly. So, but now that we have our good one flush edge established, now I just measure over and I set my table saw at 2.5 inches, and now I just run these 4 pieces back through, and then I have 4 good pieces that are specific trim width. Well, that's it for the casing on this side. Nice and flush. Our 1/2-inch overhang nailed off all nice and tight. So that puts me at about noon. I think I'm gonna go back to the RV and get some lunch. You might have seen in a previous video that this wall, this window opening was not here. So I demoed all that, I reframed all that in. And what I had the opportunity to do, and with the foresight of it, is when I framed that in, I made sure to frame in this opening so that when I trimmed it out, all of this trim is nice and even across the top here. We've got a good consistent width here, but what the big thing is, when I framed this out, I wanted to make sure that when I got my jam material and my trim, that those were both even across there. Because if I hadn't, this window would look like an afterthought, out of place, whether it was higher or lower. So I wanted to make this look like it had always been here. And to do that, you just got to make sure that you frame it all out nice and even. So all that trim is nice and even across the top of there. Just a little thing like I talked about earlier, just have that foresight, think a couple steps ahead, and you get good results like that. So, all right, it's enough rambling. I'm hungry. What's up, baby? Very good.
Dang. I know, the other ones weren't like like that, so I don't know.
One of the nice things about working at camp is the ability to have lunch together whenever Betsy is teleworking. I know these videos feature a lot of my work on a day-to-day basis, but she is always working hard behind the scenes at maintaining our home on top of her actual job and basically managing our entire life, for which I am continually grateful for. Living in a small space like this can be challenging and even sometimes frustrating, but we have created a well-balanced system for all the responsibilities involved with being full-time. And I think we've found what works for us.
Geese, can you see them up there? Once again, my car is dead. I looked it up and it said it could be either the alternator, the starter, or the battery. Then he gave me the number for his mechanic.
Heavy duty gauge cord.
Overnight charged, plugged in?
Yeah.
Oh, so I can't go anywhere?
No. You need to get some?
Look at Maple. We're playing a fun game called Where's Maple's Hoof? It's somewhere in the snow. You know. I could have sworn that she walked over to Megan's camper and had it. Although I'm sure Nook will find the hoof. Come on! We have to leave because we have a very important errand. Very important errand. Like, see, the road looks fine. They don't salt their roads here, so that's interesting to me. I guess it's like it's better for the cars. It's worse for me. Anxiety.
I did see a plow out today, though. Everybody's like, oh god, Montana doesn't plow their roads. Like, shut up unless you...
I've seen a plow every single time, like even on I-90, when I've been trying to go to Billings and stuff in the mornings. So yeah, I see plows all the time. How much snow do you think there is?
It's like 4 or 5 inches.
I feel like you said 4 inches this morning.
No, there was only 2 inches yesterday.
Yeah, but then that went away to
Yeah.
0. And then you said 4 this morning. I love that.
Yeah.
I think there's like 6. Hey Siri, what's the weather?
The National Weather Service has issued a winter storm warning until tomorrow. It's currently hazy and 20 degrees.
Gotta put our snow boots on. Get Maple's coat on. It's like everything is like a big puddle down here. We have the mat that we put the boots so that all the snow drips off, but once you take a step on that, it's like, it's over. You can't go anywhere else. This will be like a quick trip outside because I'm just taking a break from working. Can you just tell it's gonna be bright? Oh wow. Hi! Also, yesterday, I found out pretty definitively that I'm allergic to huckleberries because my eyes got all swollen and my throat felt like it was tightening. So that is unfortunate because that's like a huge fruit here. Hey Maple, come on! Where are you? Yeah, these are deadly for dogs. Okay, let's go see your dad. Let's go see Pop. Talk about some of the struggles that we've been having with RV life. The first first one is the biggest one to me, which is the address.
Yeah, it's very frustrating to get a address when you don't have a permanent residence. And what we're running into is, even though our camper is our residence, it's not good enough for the state to be considered a permanent residence. So
Which I get, but yeah.
A lot of people have a permanent residence in South Dakota because South Dakota says that you only need to be there for like one night every time you go to read it.
I hear her chewing on something. Go ahead.
Anytime you need to, renew your license or, that kind of stuff, you just go to South Dakota and stay for the night, and then that basically they don't have these restrictions, but Montana's a little different.
And we're not far from South Dakota. It's like 3 hours or something, but that's not, we are gonna have a permanent address here eventually, so it's just like a little setback, like I wanted to get a quote for lower insurance. It's like, nope, you don't have an address. It's like, okay, I need a driver's license. I work for the state of Montana. Like,
Right.
Nope, you don't have an address.
Well, it's something that if we would have known before we came out here, we would have done a couple things differently. Like, we would have gotten a longer registration period on our vehicles from Ohio. Like, our camper the registration is up at the end of next month. Now, luckily, we won't have to worry about that next month, this
Hopefully.
situation. But, if we would have known that, maybe we would have went ahead and done, a full year or, 2 years or something instead of just the 6 months, because we didn't know this was an issue. I actually have a P.O. box here in town that I'm able to switch everything over, but you can't send everything to a P.O. box. A lot of like Amazon packages and, shipping stuff, like, the post office won't accept a lot of things, so.
And I pay for a mailbox in Billings, which means I don't go get the mail all the time.
Yeah.
But I do get like a text and a notification every time I get mail, and I can see what it is. So if I know I need to go get it, UPS paused.
Oh, there he is. The UPS guy just showed up. He's a really good dude. He's met Maple. He's met Maple before. She's out there all razor-backed. She's such a dummy. What's up, man?
Hey, not much.
It's his dog.
Oh, geez, you guys got this all tore up, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
You've been in here for a while?
Not since you guys tore out all the desks. Puppy dog.
Yeah, you can just set it right there on the other side of that light.
Semis.
He's talking
Yeah.
about going up there like lane deer and all
Yep,
that stuff.
they're like Ashland.
That big hill.
Yeah.
Big mountain.
All right, guys, I'm gonna get running. It's not getting any better out there.
All right.
Yeah.
Have a good day. See ya.
You too.
All right, here's a little glimpse into some behind the scenes of renovation work. This is Christy, the camp owner. We're just discussing some upcoming details about the project. Yeah, that's working on a job site that's a running business. Sometimes the UPS guy shows up, sometimes your wife comes over and wants to talk about some stuff. Sometimes the owner pops in and kind of gives you a little bit more of a to-do and changes the plan a little bit. So it's little things like that you have to think about. They're gonna have a TV on this back wall. They have a ceiling fan here. So you gotta think about, the total height of the ceiling fan, how far it's gonna stick down from the ceiling. And then that will, dictate how high you mount your TV so that is not encroaching on the view of the TV as you walk in. And it's just all those little things that it's better to know those things while you're building than at the end being like, oh crap, I wish we would have done this. Returning viewers will remember Betsy's Jeep wouldn't start during that gnarly cold snap we had a few weeks ago when it got down into the negative 40s. I was able to get it jumped, but the battery was too far gone. So we picked up a new battery and Gary Rennie is back in business.
I'm not trapped. Yay! Thank you.
All right, that's it for this week. Betsy will be back next week, so we'll see you then. Allons-y!